If I wish to park the call, once I'm talking to the caller, I have various options again. I can use the keyboard or the mouse. You have the ability to do what's called a directed call park, which means that you as the operator decide which park bay you would like the call to be parked on, or you do an undirected call park, which is where the system will decide it for you. If you wish to use the keyboard to do a call park, you press the home key. The call is immediately parked and it will tell you which bay that call has been parked on. Alternatively, as I'll show you here, you have the ability to use the mouse as well. So I will right click on the call and I'll just simply choose the park call option. As soon as I do that, we can see now that the yellow icon next to extension 1090 has gone orange, which means there's a call there, and it also shows me on the screen here the last call parked at 1090. So I can then use a pager or a tannoy and tell that person there's a call parked on extension 1090. If I hover my mouse over that call, I can see the caller ID and I can see the queue that that call came in for. So I can see that that's a particular person here and that's who I'm looking for. After a timer, the default is 30 seconds, you see that the call comes back into the F5 section as a park timeout. You see how long the call's been there, in this case 5 seconds, now 10 seconds, and you still see the caller ID and the queue. So if you park a call and you tannoy someone or you page someone for them to retrieve that call and they do not, after a certain amount of time that call will then become available to you again. Once the call is displayed in the F5 field, you then have the option, same as with when you put the call on hold, to say, oh, I will now retrieve that call and see if somebody else can help them. So I could either right click on that call and hit the retrieve button, I could hit the page down key on the keyboard, or I can simply drag and drop from the F5 section back into F7. And as soon as I do that, I'm now talking back to that caller again. An advanced option that you have with Call Park is that you actually have the ability to park the call for a specific caller or a specific contact. So if I'm talking to this caller now, I'm going to search for last name begins with S, and I'm going to park the call for Darren Smith. I can right click on Darren Smith and hit the personal call park option. As before the call gets parked, this time we can see it's parked on 1091, but I can also see it's been parked for Darren Smith, whose extension number is 8343. And if I look at my Park Bay devices, I can actually see specifically the icon is for Darren Smith. And as you can see, you can resize this window, you can see the icons in different ways. As before, if that call is not retrieved after a certain amount of time, it will recall back to you. If in the meantime you wish to take the call before it recalls back, simply double click on the Park Bay and the call is then retrieved and you're talking to that caller again.